Greetings and salutations, MegaWizard79 here with a post-commentary to my second playthrough of Nier Automata. I'm gonna be trying something different for this playthrough. I'm still going to have my silent run, where I'm just, playing the game and nothing, no commentary whatsoever. But simultaneously, well, probably not simultaneously, but at some point down the line, I will then upload this, where I will essentially be commenting on everything I did in this episode. I guess you can kind of think of this as like one of those behind-the-scenes kind of commentary, where I'm not so much necessarily commenting on what's happening on the screen, but more of essentially what was going through my head as I was doing things. In this, essentially, what do you call it? So, as you all know, this game has multiple endings. It has, like, I think it's like 5 real endings, and a bunch of... It pretty much has one letter, let's see, like, I think it starts from, let's see, no, I think it only has 4 real endings, A, B, C, D, and then E to Z, they're all the bad endings. For those of you who have watched my previous playthrough, I managed to get at least 4 of those bad endings. I got K, T, U, and I didn't get W. I did get W in another save file. For those of you who don't know, W is the ending you get when you die in the prologue with 2B. You, like, at any point in the prologue, if you die, you get that ending. And trust me, it's really easy to get that ending. That prologue is no joke. It's like, it's almost as bad as, like, Dark Souls prologues, where you just get obliterated. But yes. So true to form, you can actually fail in this opening 2, which is what I'm going to be doing. So yeah. Unfortunately, though, just so you guys know, if you guys do fail in the prologue, you have to redo everything from the beginning, because there is no saving until after you finish the prologue. Like, it is impossible to save. But yeah, so for the most part, that's essentially what the first 5 minutes is.
How much oil you giving, little guy? Can't make a machine, your brother.
There we go. Sorry, I forgot that, I had the, what do you call it? Like, I had the game volume up, so it's kind of hard for me to talk and, listen to the game at the same time. Normally I make it a point not to talk in the not to talk during cutscenes, but since this is a sort of, behind the scenes commentary, it's, I don't have a problem with it this time. It's just a little difficult as well. So, yeah. Anyway, that little rambling aside. But yeah, so essentially what I do here is that, so you have to kick that down to get down there, obviously. And this is how you fail the, the intro. You don't have to necessarily bring that down. I just brought it down for the sake of pushing the button. But, yeah, all you have to do is just that. And then, boom. You get ending H. Just like that. It's pretty simple. And there goes the credits. Bing, bang, boom. And, yep, there you go. Hungry for knowledge. Oh, sorry, that was ending G. Sorry. Ending H is a completely different one, which I will show in, later videos. But, yeah. So... oh, boy. So, yeah, I was just kind of, I was kind of laughing at that. Mostly just because of the fact that, like, you know, just because when I read about all these endings, I'm like, wow, some of these endings are they're kind of silly. And then the like, yeah, see, like I pretty much like have like I'm getting a good head start towards getting all the endings. Um, so just so you guys know, one of the endings, I forget which one it is specifically. It has to deal with a male. That one you can end up not being able to do if you screw it up. And that, unlike all the others where you can actually try and fix it, you know, by basically, like apparently there's supposed to be like some kind of chapter selecting feature. Like maybe that opens up when you play the game the third time. But yeah, so basically, while all the other ones you can just basically pick a chapter, pick a character, and then like basically get the ending that you need. Um, with the Emil one, it's kind of a it's kind of an all or nothing thing. The only way you can avoid failing it is if you reload a previous save prior to basically doing whatever you have to do with a mill. Like it's some kind of boss thing or something, if I recall. But yeah, like that's the only one that you can fail at getting, and if you fail at getting that one, then you lose out on getting the trophy transient being, which is basically the achievement you get. Sorry, trophy you get for completing for getting all the endings from A to Z. I gotta say though, it's kind of a tall order getting all those endings. Uh, Now, so what do you call it? Since I got the since I essentially got a, what do you call it? Like, so essentially what I'm doing here is that like I'm having the little robot walk towards the camera just because of the fact that like I figured it looks more interesting, and normally people just see that robot from behind, so I figured it'd be interesting to see it from the front. Now here's something that I didn't realize that they programmed in. Boom. I didn't think you could trip, considering that the little guy walked over those pipes. Like, you know, over there. Like, you saw me just walk over it. I'm like, oh, he'll just probably walk over again. I don't need to go around it. It's like, no. If you have that bucket of oil on you, apparently I guess it's too heavy, and so it makes it harder for him to walk over stuff. So, yeah, he trips. Found that kind of cute, really. I'm like, wow, these these developers are kind of bastards. Are kind of jerks, aren't they? Anyway. But yeah, but as you can see, that's just me turning the camera to make sure I'm not walking towards any more pipes, because Lord knows I don't want to have to walk all the way over there, because as you can see, with the bucket full, he just goes to a crawl, and it's just kind of annoying. But yeah, so it's pretty much it for now. Like, there's nothing really much interesting to say, except for the fact that
Doesn't matter how much oil
like
you give
9S is such a,
make a machine, your brother.
I swear, he's such a judgmental asshole. Like, I just find it so weird that basically 9S, he
Looks like it's time.
like, it's odd. He's so analytical and very judgmental towards the machines, but he does everything in his power to try and get to at least smile a little, or at least, you know, have a little fun with him. Case in point with this operator here, like this is, it's kind of funny that this is the kind of operator that 2B would love to work with, because she's like all business, by the numbers, like, you know, no joking around and all that stuff. But she ended up getting 6-0, who's much more aloof and ditzy and, well, not particularly good at her job, I suppose, more or less, considering how lazy she seems. Or rather, not really lazy, I guess you could say, what's the term? There's a term for that. Very, wow, And there is a term for this, where you're just so... Oh, well, for lack of a better word, she's just really not very, Wow, this is gonna bug me now. I'm spending way too much time just talking about 6-0. But I like her. I like 6-0. She brings the necessary contrast that you need to basically appreciate just how, you know, harsh 2B is at times. Which makes it even more interesting when she basically just, you know, when 2B sends her a picture of that flower and all that stuff and what have you. Now, as you can see, I'm being a little reckless in the sense that I'm not necessarily too worried about dodging. That is because of the fact that, you see, so when you start a new game, you keep all the chips and all the weapons and stuff you got before. Now 9S, he doesn't have a heavy attack, so you don't get to have two weapons on you because his secondary attack is that he can hack enemies, which can be useful. Not that necessary. So far, it doesn't seem that useful against enemies like this because they just die so quick. But basically, because I keep all the chips that I had on me when I was 2B, I essentially don't necessarily have to carry, because as you can see, every time I kill an enemy, I instantly get my health back. That's because I have a chip where basically it gives me leech life, more or less. Every time I kill an enemy, I get a certain amount of life back. I think it's at +3. So yeah, I get a lot of health back. It's particularly useful. And what's really interesting is that it applies to any enemy. So what do you call it? So I figure out that normally that chip isn't that valuable against bosses because, you know, bosses, they don't die that quick, and if it's just a one-on-one fight during a boss, it's kind of a waste of a slot. But if the boss has you see those things right there? Those black things, they count. Because you see, I was fighting the what is it? When I later on in the level, you'll see when I'm helping 2B fight the boss, I kind of have a hard time with the final hack because it's just that hard. It's just. But the reason normally if you fail at a hack, you lose a little bit of life. But because of the fact that I have those chips, I am taking the life loss penalty, but my life is always resetting because of the fact that every time I kill one of those black things, my health will regenerate. So, essentially, I have infinite tries against that boss because I'll never lose. I'll never go past that little bit of damage I get dealt every time I fail a hack. it's I don't know if the developers considered that. Just how broken the life leech thing was. I definitely got a kick out of it. But yeah. So it's I gotta say that I wasn't too keen on the idea of basically doing a playthrough of this at all, to be honest. A second one, I mean. Like, the first playthrough, I felt satisfied enough. I mean, yeah, sure, I missed some quests that I wanted to do, like the A2 quest, where I kind of screwed that up, where I ended up going to a main quest instead of going to that side quest, so I lost out on a little lore. But it's fine, because I'm going to do it again as 9, so it's okay. But, yeah, so what's, but I wasn't really too keen on the idea of doing another playthrough of this, mostly just because of the fact that it's like, you know, trying to get all the endings is kind of a Herculean task, and to be honest, I have a lot of games that I've started and never really finished. Like, there's one game on my channel, like the first game I ever started, Knights of Azure, where I really, I never finished it. It's still like at 20 something episodes, and I think I'm like halfway done with it. At least I would assume so, considering how things are like kind of ramping up. But yeah, I never finished it. I just sort of lost I just ended up losing interest, mostly because of the fact that, like, all the episodes were like an hour-ish long, and I kind of figured people weren't going to watch that because it was way too long, but I couldn't help it because it just has a lot of cutscenes. But yeah, so but yeah, but essentially for those reasons, I didn't really want to do. I didn't really feel like I wanted to do another playthrough of Nier. Not because I didn't like the game, but just because I felt I felt one playthrough would have been enough as far as the channel was concerned. Hey, I did a game. I got one of the endings. Cool. Like I don't really need to be a completionist about this. And also, to be perfectly honest, I kind of don't really like 9S. He's, like, it's just weird. Like, normally I like side characters, but 9S is just so boring. Which is weird because I sort of kind of like the boring characters just because, in my opinion anyway, they seem just more interesting. But man, this guy, he's just so black and white, so not interesting. And yeah, it's I don't know, I really just don't like 9S. But that being said, basically, I was at least a little interested on just how different the game was in terms of, like, the hacking and all that, and you know what? I wasn't disappointed. The hacking is fun. It is very fun, actually. If I had access to that power, he would have trivialized so much for me in my first playthrough. Just because of the fact that, like, he's just able. He's just able to just completely and totally obliterate certain, like that enemy right there, the one that's like 4 pieces and stuff. That thing is so annoying to fight as 2B, just because I have to destroy every single piece before I can get to the middle part and finally destroy it. But he, just by hacking it, boom, gone, just like that. It's like, God, it's like, why would you never, like, seriously, why would you want to kill them in any other fashion? It's like, it's just so much better that way. And honestly, it just makes more sense, considering that, they're androids. It's like, why the heck would they be so mundane and just focus on beating these things with just guns and swords and stuff? It's like, you're a robot, just hack the thing. It's, but yeah, and then this is just me looking around to make sure, one of those things, they didn't do a bait and switch and just have one of those things come in behind me, but nope. I kind of had the feeling that I kind of did this backwards, and I did the hardest one first, and I ended up going down the tunnel that was actually the easiest last. At least that's what I think, anyway. But yeah.
Hacking of enemy defense system complete. Our attack squadron can now
For
base.
all in all,
providing support by whatever means available.
But this, like all in all, like, this tutorial, 9S's prologue is actually very enjoyable. It's, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not particularly that hard. I think that just kind of has a lot to do with the fact that I'm level 33. So, and not to mention also I have, like, access to, like, all these really powerful chips and stuff. I have to say that I do like what 9S is like. I did like 9S's response, where it's like, where his operator just basically states, like, yeah, the strike team managed to breach the enemy defenses. The catch is, though, there's only one member of that team left, and he's like, oh wow. It's like, yeesh. Like, that was, yeah, that was he was not expecting to hear that. But yeah, so the reason I'm just taking all this unnecessary damage is because I was trying. Yep, that's what I was trying to do. I didn't know if I could do it. Like, I was like, to be honest, you know, since I was able to do it inside the flight suit before, I'm like, huh, am I doing this wrong or something? Do I have to be locked on? It's just like, I guess, like, to be honest, I still don't know the mechanic that much, like, why I wasn't able to hack it, even though I was, like, right next to it.
Get a load of that thing. Firing missiles.
I swear, 9S is so weird. He's just like, oh, wow, look at that! Let's kill it. It's like, he's so weird.
Better make sure he's actually dead next time. That was dangerous, man.
God.
You're 2B, right?
When he first said that, and, you know, like, I had to replay that level, like, at least, like, 2 or 3 times, and then once I finally got there and beat that, you know, like, and then he comes in and kills that thing, and then he shows up and says that to me, I'm like, you know what? I like to see you get, you know, basically go through that meat grinder I went through that just pretty much obliterated my entire team. You know, it's like, check your privilege next time, alright? Now, this part here, I never really understood. So, like, I understand that basically the reason they split up is because he just went out to basically do some more reconnaissance head-on. But I don't understand why he just, you know, it's really weird. I don't understand why he went into this tunnel if he's just, you know, if he's trying to basically clear things out for her ahead. It's like, she's going a completely different way, dude. Why the heck are we going this way and just fighting these arbitrary enemies that only seem to be attacking you because you're just going through this specific path?
Alright then. 2B it is.
I really don't get the point of that. You know, like, it's really weird. Like, I figured that, you know, like, I understand that basically, you know, like, the whole, like, you know, that conversation I just talked over. You know, at first, I was thinking that, you know, he was just, flying on ahead. He basically had his, you know, visual screen on, or basically at least his, voice chat on, and he was just basically making idle conversation as he was basically at least within, you know, visual, at least, what is it, like, visual distance, or something like that? Or at the very least, you know, in the same region, so to speak? Because I understand, like, yes, technically he is still in the same location as her, because they are within that factory still, but the fact that he just went down this, I guess this would be a... Yeah, to be honest, I don't understand the layout of this. Like, why is there this just big tube that just doesn't seem to really connect to anything? I mean, you figured this would be some kind of thermal exhaust port, or maybe like a sewage line or something, but he just went through a hole in the wall that connects, you know, to the end, to another end of the factory, and it's like, I don't understand. Like, what's the point of this? Like what? Like, you know, this area here. Like, what's its functional purpose? What does it do? Is it just supposed to be some kind of maintenance shaft that allows, you know, workers to easily access certain parts of the factory? But that being said, it's like there's no obvious evidence of that. There's no scaffolding. There's no catwalks. There's no ladders. There's nothing here. I mean, you know, I get that the place is derelict and abandoned, and, you know, humans left it thousands of years ago. But that being said, the fact that this place is still in good enough condition that it still has power and machines are still being built in here, it just, I just still have to beg the question: what is the functional purpose of this giant hole?
But couldn't find anything resembling our target.
I mean,
I don't know, moved it somewhere?
like, it's so weird. Like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I assume those are probably either power cables or maybe oil pipes, maybe even gas lines, but other than that, I really don't get the point of this.
There should be another facility across that bridge. It's a bit of a hike, but should we check it out?
You know.
It's not like Command to get a location wrong.
And And then the conversation itself too, it's so disjointed compared to what's going on around you and where you are. Like, at least when he was talking to at least when you were playing as 2B and he was talking to you, it sort of made sense because you assumed that basically he was somewhere within, that he was still out in the air and up in the sky, so you could see all this, and he was at least within comm distance, so they could still communicate, and he could see visuals and like, see, like,
What's going on?
like right there, like he can see a visual,
Target enemy.
but
Help her. Let's go.
it's just I don't know, like it's weird.
2B!
Yeah, see, like the hole that he just get, like it looked like he came out of some kind of vent, right? But the angle and all that makes no sense because he went in a horizontal way, but he ended up coming out vertically.
I'll provide support.
How? I mean, yeah, like
Enemy analysis complete.
the angle was changing as you were going up and down, as you were going higher, but
I'll hack this thing and weaken it.
I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me. But yeah, so this is when I kind of get into the whole this is when I like at first, yeah, as you can see, I died the first time. Like you're gonna see me because the issue with this though is that you only get three lot. You only get three. You essentially only have 3 hit points because you have like 3 parts to that little thing. You have like 2 little wings on the side and then the main body itself. Once the 2 wings are gone, you only have the main body, and once the main body is destroyed, that's it. It's over. What is it like? This is why I kind of have a hard time with this because I'm essentially in. Yeah, like see, it's like one of those already. Boom. Like, it's a 1-for-1 trade. You get hit once, you lose a hit point. You hit again, lose another hit point. So, it's kind of brutal, especially when you're put into this, where you're just in bullet hell, and you only have 3 hit points. It's like, are you kidding me? And then to top it all off, you have a timer, and then you have the whole mechanic where white colored objects in there cannot be destroyed, but black objects can. And then you have some of the things that basically have, like, yeah, see, like that? It's like, are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous. And you have to destroy all those things to basically lower the shield of that thing. And look at that. Like, it's like, the concept is easy enough to follow. And to be honest, it's not particularly that hard because I actually do get close. Like, yeah, see? Like, boom. Look at that. I pretty much wiped all of them. But, look at it's like, I can't get a clean shot. And then another thing spawns and boom, I died. I'm like, it's like, it's like, so yeah, so I do this like another 2 or 3 times, and I'm just like, like, this is rough. Like, this is not easy. It's like, you think it's easy, but it's not. This is really not, this is not simple. Especially when, like, the button sensitivity is really... Well, like, look, see? Look at that. Like, and then I died. And that one, I felt like they just gave me that one on a silver platter, and I still died, which was annoying. But, yeah, but essentially, the joysticks, they're very... they're super sensitive and really twitchy. So, like, there's no nice way of maneuvering in that thing. But as you can clearly see, my health bar, like, I take a little damage after I die, but every time I kill one of those things, my health regenerates, as you're going to see in a sec. So my health is regenerating as I'm doing this. Like, you can't see it because of the thing, but... Yeah, see? Like, I never lose more than that little bit of health, because every time I kill something in there, I'm getting health back. I mean, you obviously can't see it because of the fact that, like, it's a completely different interface, but that's essentially what's happening. So these things do count towards you gaining life back, which is very generous of them, I will say so. But yeah, but the controls for this thing, they're kind of wonky because you can just really use the left stick to just you know, you use the left stick to control the thing, and then the right stick, you know, that controls like your, like essentially your what is it, like, oh yeah, that's right, there were two here. I hated that. But yeah, so yeah, but basically the left control stick controls that thing completely, while the right only just kind of turns the camera around, which I would recommend not doing. Like, just don't touch the camera at all. It's like, like I really thought I had it that time. It's just like, it's so frustrating. I'm like, this is getting annoying. It's like, please just let me win already. And then it's really frustrating. And yeah, like a majority, like as you can see, a majority of this is just me doing this, and it's like I really thought I had it that time. And what's really kind of annoying is the fact that they have like 4 different types of bullets. Like the black ones can't be so the purple ones obviously can't be destroyed by your gun. At least I think they can't. I don't think they can. But yeah, so you have like 3 different bullet types in there. You have orange, purple, and the and essentially what I like to call like the homers. So yeah, so as you can see, the triangle ones, they home on you and they just follow you everywhere. So yeah, so the purple ones, they can't be destroyed with your laser. You know, just the same way as it functions in the actual game, where the purple ones. And I'm like, yes! Oh, that felt so good. Like, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't necessarily like, you know, super euphoria and all that stuff, but man, it was so annoying. I was so glad that I was so done with that. Only to realize that I knew that I wasn't done with that because, you know, this is 9S's shtick. He's going to be doing this the entire game, and it's like... And the annoying part is, like, it's not gonna get easier. And yes, I'm aware that I'm pretty much... I think I've pretty much said annoying more than, like, 5... Probably more than 10 times right now. But, yeah. It's just, it's bothersome. It's bothersome, it's agitating. This little part I actually like, though. So, essentially what you're doing is, you're rebooting yourself, if you will. You know, you're restoring your visuals and your vocals. There you go. They give you a generous amount of time, though, to do it, which is interesting. Wish they gave me wish they gave me that much time when I was hacking that thing. But what are you gonna do? So yeah. Then you just wait a little while and boom.
I have to repair him. Pod, get me staunching gel and logic virus vaccine. Then access the
Inadvisable. The subject's vital signs are too poor to attempt field repair in
Shut up!
current.
Just do what I say.
I like it how she's just so...
Shut up too.
She just becomes really attached to him in that one instance. Like, the first time I played it, I'm like, you seem to be really clingy? Well, no, not really clingy. Very... Like, you know, she immediately goes from being unemotional. I mean, you know, the fact that her entire squad got obliterated right in front of her face, and nothing. Yeah, like she did, you know, she's just, you know, she, like, when her commander got obliterated right next to her, she's just going like, you know, command, I am assuming captain's responsibilities, and you know, she just got an immediate promotion. But yeah. So, yeah, the fact that she was so apathetic towards the fact that her entire squad got destroyed, but yet this one guy that she only just met, like, not even 20 minutes ago, is like, you know, in a you know, you know, it's like I don't understand why she's just so hysterical. Yeah, I think hysterical is probably the word. Yeah. Yeah. And now we're just kind of in a shooting gallery. Just, boom, boom, boom. So, again, I don't really feel any agency towards, you know, if they do manage to get close to him, because as you can see, even though it's the pod that's doing all the killing, because my pod is a part of 9S, the chips acknowledge that he is gaining health back for every kill. So even if one of these guys managed to get close and deal damage, I would just instantly gain it back just by killing one of them. Especially since the damage they do is laughable, considering that I'm a level 33 and these guys are all level 20s. So even if they do hit me, it's only chip damage at best, which is great. I like the fact of feeling powerful.
2B, I found a weakness in the target. Hacking in to provide support.
So, fortunately this time around, I managed to get pretty lucky, and I don't have to redo any of these. You know, they're all a one and done kind of thing.
2B, the control on the enemy's upper arm. Use your pod. Should be able to take it over.
I told you to shut up!
Oh boy. Those two are just very funny. I gotta say, even though it is the exact same cutscenes, watching them from this angle is, it feels more complete. You know, because when I, you know, because as you would assume, you know, since all the true endings are supposed to build on top of each other, so as a result, as you're playing the game through all these other characters' eyes, the cutscenes essentially blossom outward and just become more and more complete, so that they're not very, you know, essentially like, how do I put this? Like,
It's fine.
like when I played as 2B,
Upload 2B's data first.
it felt painfully obvious that, you know, certain aspects were missing. You know, like I wasn't getting the whole story, if you will. Not that they're, which is kind of weird. Which is kind of weird saying that, just because of the fact that, to be honest, this is a very light story-focused game, if you will. Considering that I beat the game in under 20 hours. To be honest, you get more from the side quests than you actually do from the main storylines. But that's also because of the fact that, as I've stated, you know, it's broken apart. Like, the story itself is broken amongst 3 other characters, so obviously it would feel incomplete if you're just doing it through one character. Gotta say, despite the fact that both of them, for the most part, kind of follow the same specs, considering that they're both Yorha units, she is incredibly durable. But, of course, she is a combat model, and he's intended to be a scout, and he did kind of take a full blunt force impact from that, from that buzzsaw. So, yeah, I would assume losing 2 limbs would be appropriate. That being said, though, I kind of don't like the fact that he lost 2 limbs on the same side. It's too asymmetrical. I would have preferred it if he at least lost 1 arm on one side and then a leg on the other one. Like, it would have been much more...
The black box.
it would have been more neater.
It's ready.
Like, like for whatever reason, I kind of like it when you're missing one limb on one side. You know, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. You know, you don't have to lose both arms or both legs. But as long as you lose one appendage on each side, it just looks more appealing as opposed to this.
Via black box reaction.
Like, I don't know. I don't know why. It just it just doesn't feel right.
It was an honor to fight with you. Truly.
The honor was mine.
To be honest, I don't even know why they're even so... I mean, I can understand why 9S would say it the way he did. Just because of the fact that, you know, technically speaking, this version of him is dying right here. So, he's not particularly, you know, going to remember most, if not anything, of what he did with 2B. But yeah, so, at this point, I kind of just decide to end it here. Mostly just because of the fact that, like, there's still more to do. And I figured it would just be, this would be a nice ending point. So yeah. So, please, stay tuned for the next one. And until next time, this is Mega Wizard 79 bidding you all adieu.